Deep in the heart of East Africa, Uganda just explodes onto the scene as this incredible sanctuary, where wildlife isn't just present, it's the main event. Here, tucked between misty rainforests, sun-drenched savannas, and rivers carving through deep valleys, a whole world unfolds. One where every single creature plays a vital role in the daily drama of adaptation and survival. I mean, you've got everything from the majestic mountain gorillas chilling on the green slopes of the Bwindi impenetrable forest, all the way to elephants, buffalo, antelope, and lions roaming the plains of Queen Elizabeth National Park. Seriously, every species is writing its own chapter in this wild story. Birds with colors you can't even believe are real just dance across the treetops, while the waters of the White Nile are home to crocodiles and hippos, who, let's be honest, guard their turf with a kind of ancient, seen-it-all patience. In Uganda, nature isn't just existing, it's telling its own story with every roar, every flap of a wing, and every footprint left in the mud. It's a stage where life is always changing, a place where you either adapt or you're out, and survival becomes this absolute masterpiece written by the jungle itself. And hey, if this journey into the heart of the African savanna is hitting you right in the feels, do us a huge favor and hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring that notification bell. Your support is what lets us keep exploring and sharing the most incredible and untamed stories from the animal kingdom. Because out here, on the savannas of Uganda, you witness encounters that get to the very core of the wild world. And among all of them, few showdowns are as awe-inspiring as the clash between a lion and a Cape buffalo. On one side, you have the continent's most iconic predator, a ruthless strategist sitting at the very top of the food chain. And on the other, a gigantic herbivore whose raw power can turn any hunter into the hunted in a matter of seconds. It's a classic duel of brains versus brawn, coordination versus sheer brute force. A standoff that's been echoing under the blazing African sun for thousands of years. The lion, you see, is a master of the group project. Unlike other solo artist felines, they rely on the strength of the pride to take on even the most colossal opponents. Lionesses, agile and incredibly precise, take the lead, slinking through the shadows of the tall grass like golden ghosts. Their fixed, silent gazes betray a level of focus that's just intense. These are the ones carrying the weight of the entire family's survival on their shoulders. Every step is calculated. Every move is part of a perfectly choreographed dance. The objective is crystal clear. Take down a Cape buffalo, a rival that can easily top 900 kilograms, protected by dense muscle and a set of seriously powerful horns. But let me tell you, facing off against a buffalo isn't like hunting a zebra or a gazelle. It's a dangerous gamble, and any mistake comes with a very, very high price. When the lions finally reveal themselves, the savannah instantly transforms into an all-out battlefield. The heavy thud of the buffalo's hooves makes the very earth vibrate beneath their feet. The herd, far from scattering in chaos, moves like a perfectly trained army. They encircle the young, form a tight, impenetrable line, and lower their heads in unison, becoming a living wall of muscle and horn. A single counterattack can change everything. The charge of a buffalo is so violent, it can literally launch a full-grown lion into the air. The African savanna is famous for its giant herbivores, sure, but it's the predators who truly shape the balance of this wild environment. Over millennia, they've evolved into specialized hunters, polished by natural selection to survive and dominate in an extreme world. The lion is the very definition of majesty and collective power. Unlike other big cats who rely on going it alone, the lion thrives in the unity of its pride. This social life allows them to map out complex strategies and take on massive prey like zebras, wildebeest, and yes, even buffalo. And it's the lionesses who play the starring role in the hunt. they coordinate silent attacks, advancing in a crescent formation and picking their target with flawless precision. The attack isn't just physical, it's a psychological blow. The isolated prey eventually gives in to the overwhelming power of the pride. But in the calm, treacherous rivers and lakes of Uganda, one of the planet's most ancient predators, is patiently waiting for its next meal, the Nile crocodile. This creature is a masterful combination of strength and patience. Its powerful, scale-covered body blends perfectly with the water, making it practically invisible to any unsuspecting animal that wanders too close to the shore. With a bite that can generate up to 5,000 psi. Yeah, you heard that right. The crocodile doesn't need to be fast, just precise. It can stay perfectly still for hours, sometimes even days, just waiting for that exact moment to ambush a zebra, an antelope, or any other herbivore that gets a little too careless. When it finally strikes, its speed and power are absolutely staggering. A single, explosive lunge can be fatal before the victim even has a chance to realize what's happening. The rivers and lakes of Uganda, like the White Nile, provide the perfect habitat for this apex predator. Its environment becomes an extension of its own instinct. It uses the water, the shadows, and the riverbanks to optimize every single hunting opportunity. On top of that, the crocodile is an expert at conserving energy. During the hottest parts of the day, it'll haul itself onto the bank to rest, saving up all that strength for its next attack. It's this combination of patience, power, and resilience that makes the Nile crocodile such an exceptional survivor, capable of facing the challenges of a demanding ecosystem and remaining one of the most formidable predators on the African savanna. Out on the vast plains of Uganda, where the scorching sun beats down mercilessly on the cracked earth, just surviving is a full-time job. But despite the harsh environment, life always finds a way to flourish. And one of the most outstanding examples of adaptation and pure elegance is the impala. This animal isn't just another resident of the savannah. It's a true expert in motion. When danger gets close, the impala doesn't just run, it practically flies, leaping with an almost unbelievable lightness, weaving through predators as if performing a survival ballet. Its incredible talent for covering huge distances with wide leaps and quick turns is one of the key reasons it stays alive in a land where predators and scarce resources test even the toughest animals. Its sleek, flexible body gives it the ability to pull off these maneuvers with incredible precision. Each jump is a burst of energy that propels it far away from any threat. But, of course, its life is never risk-free. Lions, leopards, and wild dogs are always watching, waiting for any moment of carelessness, which means the impala has to stay on constant alert. Its ever-watchful eyes are constantly scanning the horizon, checking every shadow for any sign of danger. But its defense isn't just about what it can see. Its sharp, well-honed instincts make it react to the slightest hint of risk, moving with a speed and fluidity that's just beautiful to watch. And even though it's considered prey, the impala is far from helpless. It's part of a balanced natural system where even the most vulnerable creatures play a crucial role. By living in herds, impalas work together to boost their chances of survival. While their speed is impressive, they know that the strength of the group is their best defense. Together, they face the hardships of their world with amazing coordination, acting like a true community that looks out for one another. Their diet of grasses and tender shoots is closely tied to the ecosystem they call home. And even though they know where to find food, getting it is never a sure thing. In the dry season, when resources dwindle, the impala has to travel long distances to find water and fresh grass, proving just how tough and adaptable it really is, essential traits for making it in the Ugandan wilderness. Now, the eland antelope represents something different, a quiet strength and an incredible ability to endure adversity. Its majestic figure dominates the Ugandan savannas, with its bulky body and long horns silhouetted against the sky. Unlike the nimble and elusive impala, the eland is defined by its stamina and its knack for adapting to environmental challenges. Its sturdy build, combined with a remarkable tolerance for intense heat, allows it to survive in regions where water is scarce and the competition for resources is fierce. The eland gets the most out of dry, tough plants, something many herbivores can't do, and it can even get by without drinking large amounts of water, making it a true survivor during the dry season. Thanks to its impressive height, it can feed on foliage that other animals can't reach, giving it access to food in areas that are off limits to most. And while it's not a hunter, its size and strength make it a target for predators like lions and hyenas. However, its muscular legs and powerful horns offer a formidable defense, and its ability to move into difficult terrain gives it a better chance of escape. Socially, the eland tends to form small family groups instead of huge herds, which allows for better coordination and protection against danger. The very presence of this antelope on the savanna symbolizes the resilience of nature, proving how strength and adaptability can ensure survival in even the most unforgiving environments. And now, moving through the shadows of the vast Ugandan savanna, where only the whisper of the wind breaks the silence, lies one of the continent's most stealthy and amazing creatures, the African leopard. Its elegant body, covered in those iconic golden and black spots, allows it to completely vanish into the vegetation, making it an undisputed master of camouflage. Unlike other big cats that hunt in prides, the leopard is a lone wolf, preferring solitude and individual strategy. Patience is its greatest weapon. It can spend hours just watching its prey, studying every single move before making its own, and its senses are just off the charts. Sharp gaze and incredibly sensitive ears allow it to pick up on even the most subtle sounds and movements from a distance. When it's finally time to hunt, its speed and precision are breathtaking. With one calculated leap, it can snatch animals much smaller than itself before they even have a chance to react. On top of that, its incredible ability to climb trees with its kill, which is often heavier than the leopard itself, gives it a safe place to eat, protecting its hard-earned meal from scavengers like hyenas and lions. The leopard is a perfect example of adaptation to life on the savanna, combining stealth, strength, and cunning. Its diet is incredibly varied: young antelopes, monkeys, birds, you name it, which allows it to survive, even when resources are scarce. Still, every day brings new challenges, and its survival ultimately depends on its ability to adapt and overcome the constant trials of this hostile, yet beautiful, world. Among the giants of the Ugandan savanna, the Rothschild's giraffe stands out literally. I mean, with that height and elegance, how could it not? Its super long legs and neck, combined with that one-of-a-kind spot pattern, make it one of the most breathtaking animals in the entire region. Its stature gives it some pretty unique advantages. For starters, it can reach the highest, tastiest leaves that other herbivores can only dream of, which means no fighting over lunch. But despite its massive size, the giraffe is a surprisingly serene creature. It just kind of glides along while it eats, always keeping an eye on things with its incredible vision. That vantage point lets it spot predators like lions or leopards way in advance, and if things get hairy, it can use those powerful front legs to defend itself. Seriously, a single kick from one of these guys is usually enough to make any attacker seriously regret its life choices. Since its diet is mostly leaves, it has to cover a lot of ground, adapting to whatever vegetation it can find. This constant road trip is what keeps it healthy and strong, letting it tap into all the resources of the environment and stay in perfect rhythm with the natural cycles of the land. The Rothschild's giraffe is just an incredible example of adaptation. It perfectly blends height, strength, and vigilance to thrive in a super competitive world. Watching one just reminds you how nature can pack so much vulnerability and power into a single creature, making it a true symbol of resilience and grace out here in the vast African savanna. And it's exactly that duality that ensures its survival in one of Africa's toughest environments. Now, the hippopotamus. This is a colossal creature deeply connected to water, a giant whose silhouette dominates the calm rivers and lakes of Uganda. And while its bulky body might suggest clumsy movements, the reality is completely different. In the water, this animal is shockingly agile. It can hit speeds of nearly 30 kilometers per hour over short distances and, despite its calm appearance, it's extremely territorial and incredibly dangerous. It spends most of the day submerged, just chilling out and protecting itself from the suffocating savanna heat. In rivers like the White Nile, hippos gather in huge groups called colonies, where living together offers collective protection. But life in the water isn't everything. They have to come out to eat. When night falls, the hippos leave the safety of the riverbanks and head out onto the plains to find grasslands. Their diet is mostly grass, and they can eat up to 40 kilograms in a single night. Their intense sense of territory is one of their most defining traits. Even in the water, they're constantly on alert for other hippos or potential threats trying to invade their space. Its jaw, which can open to an almost perfectly straight angle, is a formidable tool. Its teeth and tusks can cause devastating injuries, and though they're often seen as these calm, lazy animals, their strength and aggression can be shocking, especially when they feel trapped. In fact, the hippopotamus is responsible for more human deaths in Africa than any other large mammal, which makes it one of the most feared animals on the continent. Unlike other savanna dwellers, the hippo has almost no natural predators. However, competition for resources like food and space can be fierce. Because of this, the colonies have to stay cohesive and cooperate to avoid internal conflicts, securing access to the best grazing areas and the safest places to rest. The presence of the hippo in Uganda's rivers not only showcases its incredible adaptation to aquatic life, but also reflects how cooperation and group strength can be essential for surviving in such a demanding world. While the big predators rule the savannas, other residents of Uganda play equally crucial roles in balancing this dynamic ecosystem. Among them, the African elephants stand tall, the largest land mammals on the planet, whose very presence directly transforms the landscape and affects the survival of countless other species. With a strictly herbivorous diet, an adult elephant can consume between 150 and 200 kilograms of vegetation every single day, reshaping the savanna in profound and lasting ways. These giants are, and I'm not exaggerating, the architects of the ecosystem. By knocking down trees, they create clearings that let in sunlight, encouraging the growth of fresh grasses that feed smaller herbivores like zebras, wildebeest, and gazelles. As they roam over long distances, they disperse seeds through their droppings, promoting plant regeneration and ensuring the savanna's natural cycle continues. However, this constant search for food and water brings elephants into direct contact with other animals and with the ever-present challenges of the environment. When the dry season hits and resources get scarce, they pull out a seriously clever trick. Using those powerful tusks, they actually dig into dry riverbeds to tap into underground water. And these makeshift wells don't just save the elephants, they become a lifeline for countless other species just trying to hang on. But honestly, their social lives are just as fascinating as their impact on the environment. These herds are led by a wise, experienced matriarch, and they're organized into these incredibly tight-knit family units, where the older females pass down essential knowledge to the younger generations. We're talking the location of water sources, safe migration routes, and even strategies for dealing with predators. When they feel threatened, the adults form a protective circle around the calves, showing off this incredible unity that, more often than not, convinces lions and other predators to just back off. Yeah, smart move. Back on dry land, another unique species also plays a crucial role in preserving Uganda's ecosystem. But as the sun sets over the vast savannas and dense jungles of Uganda, our journey through this wild world is drawing to a close. We've witnessed the sheer majesty of elephants navigating the rivers, the stealthy hunt of lions at dusk, and the absolute frenzy of life that erupts from every corner of the Ugandan ecosystem. Every encounter has been a reminder that nature is as fragile as it is powerful, and that survival out here is a constant dance between strength, ingenuity, and adaptation. And though our journey is ending, the story of this wildlife continues, breathing in every leaf, in every river, and in every creature that calls Uganda home.
Chỉ cho e, chỉ cho e.